And we are live. Welcome back to Pistons Jack Fan Reacts, where we're going to recap a pretty disappointing loss to the Washington Wizards. A loss that might come back to haunt the Pistons as it relates to the 4, 5, 6 seedings at the end of the season. But we'll get to the game in just a moment. For those tuning in, I've got my man Prince joining me. Then my man John is joining us from Switzerland. For anyone else who wants to join this stream, please shoot me a DM. We'll make time for anyone to go through this loss and hopefully get all the bad vibes, the frustration off us, so we can look forward to a very exciting game against the Thunder on Saturday for my friends in the US, Sunday for my friends here in Australia. Just quickly, my very brief thoughts before I bring up Prince. I kind of thought this game was going to play out the way the Pistons' second game against the Bulls went just before the All-Star break, where it was kind of close till halftime, and then the Pistons pulled away. Unfortunately for us, the Wizards came to play for the entire game. They shot 20 of 40 from downtown, hit close, or 20 of 44, hit close to 50% of their threes. I thought Alex Sarr had one of I haven't watched many Wizards games, but I have to guess that's one of his best games as a rookie. 19 points, 4 blocks, made some key shots for them, protected the rim, huge block on K towards the end. Keyshawn George, another rookie for the Wizards, hit a couple of key threes, as well as their other rookie, Bob Carrington, made some big-time shots. So I would dare say that's probably the best game the Wizards, as all three rookies have played together, and that they look really nice. So happy for Wizards fans. But for Pistons fans, Cade finished with 38 points, career high 21 free throw attempts. I think he made 19 or 20. It was a really good Cade game. He also had 10 assists, but the fact that they didn't get the win at the end of the day, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but I think when you lose to the Wizards, it's hard to get too excited about any individual performances. But yeah, frustrating game. Honestly, though, guys, I wouldn't be losing it too much. In our group chat, we're talking about how the Pistons have the toughest Eastern schedule remaining, which I understand. That's why every game matters now in terms of wins. But look, I'm not too upset. I'm frustrated. I think this stream's going to help us all. But I wouldn't get too doom and gloom. But I'm going to bring up my man Prince now in just a moment, get his thoughts on the game, and hopefully by the end of this, we're all feeling a little bit better. So, Prince, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm good now. You got the lighting, you got the jersey, man.
Yeah.
Your vibes, you're killing it, bro. You're making me feel better straight off the
Shoot,
bat.
hold on. Yeah, hold on. An ad pulled up on my white screen. I had to
you're,
get it off.
you're good, man.
So,
Yeah, talk
So,
us
yeah.
through your immediate reaction to that loss.
so
I feel like
I loved how it was competitive. I just want to get like
all of my great, kind of things when it comes to the game. I feel like Cade was performing so well. I was glad to see him, but he was 0 for 7 from 3-point line. And when I saw that stat, it didn't feel like it because he had 38 points, and
Yep.
he just recorded such a great kind of performance today, especially with the game. And same thing for Jalen Duren. He really bounced back from all of his low performing in these last couple of games. And when Jalen Duren going up, putting up everything, making sure that he was being there and doing that hustle defense that we needed. Thank you for the thing. Yeah, I got this jersey. It's my dad's. He got it, Mitchell and Ness. But yeah, I just feel like it was a big game. It was a sad loss. It was for 4 seed. It was for all different kinds of things. And yeah, and especially on 313 day. And it was a pretty sad loss for the community, but I feel like with the rest of the schedule, it's going to be a pretty hard schedule, but I think we can win about half, maybe even more than of those games if we can stay on the kind of route that we're on right now.
Yeah, I look. It's disappointing on 313 day in particular to lose to the worst team in the NBA. Like, we're not going to
right.
sit here and say, but we're not happy about the loss. I just don't think like it's worth getting too frustrated. Like, we're in the 6th seed. I want to say we're still at least 3.5, 4 games ahead of the Hawks. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong there. or whoever's sitting at 7th or 8th. I think they've still got a few games there gap. Obviously, this is a game you don't want to lose, but there were some positives. I will say Cade's 3-point shot, him going 0 of 7, kind of hurts. He had a few key ones there to either give the Pistons the lead or push it to like 5 or more points. But yeah, it's disappointing, like I said, and you said on 3-on-3 day. But like Austin says here, people might hate me for being optimistic, but and I know Austin's saying this is a bit of tongue in cheek, but I honestly would not be surprised now if they come out and beat the Wizards. Like genuinely, I think this is the type of wake up call game they need because you can have a like I think a lot of us expected like that they'll come out in the third quarter and they'll be fired up, and the Wizards came out and I think scored 8 in a row, and they continue like their great play. So hopefully this game is like, all right, guys, we are a good team now, but we took our foot off the gas. And JB said that in the press conference. I look, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and beat OKC next game.
Yeah. I think with the OKC game, it's a long shot, but I do think, and I've seen it before, I do think that they can beat OKC.
But yeah, all the games coming up with Milwaukee in the next couple of weeks, I think we can win those games too. But I think definitely OKC can be a win. I'm not saying it will be, but I think it can be a win. But when it comes to Tim Hardaway in those last couple of seconds, I was very disappointed because I felt like he was taking those shots from long range, and I do get he didn't have enough time to like go up and actually take it. But I mean, there were other people, and he was really the only person open. So I could see where Cade's point of view was coming from when he was passing to Tim Hardaway Jr. But at the same time, I do believe that, yeah, OKC could definitely be a win to me.
So, and I like what you took, like about that last shot. I think that I don't mind THJ taking that shot if there's only 2 seconds on the clock, but I think there was at least 7 or 8 seconds. So if that was the play.
It was from the logo.
I'm talking about the one where they were down 3.
Down 3.
Yeah, not the very last play. I felt like the game was kind of over then. The one before that, where there was about 8 seconds left and THJ lets it fly with 7 seconds, and he's I want to say a meter behind the 3-point line with someone in his face. I think there was enough time there to, I don't know if they had another timeout, but at least get it back to Cade and see what he can do. Maybe I'm asking too much, but I just didn't really like that shot, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw
the dude, I think it was what's his name? I forgot his name too. I don't keep up with these other rosters, but I saw this dude and he was guarding Malik Beasley, and Malik Beasley was low-key open, but I know Tim Hardaway, his mindset was in taking the last shot and trying to get that clutch point for the Pistons, and it was really disappointing to see him sad after he didn't make it or the last shot either. So yeah.
Yeah, it was. Look, I know like stuff moves very fast out there. So maybe I'm being too harsh, being like get a better shot with only 7 seconds left. But I just don't think I like that play. Potentially, maybe they just thought Cade doesn't have it tonight from 3. Let's just back in THJ or Beasley. They're our best 2 shooters. But just didn't really like that look. But
I didn't like him taking the shot either.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably in agreement with us, but I don't know. Look, THJ, I'll still remember probably end of November, early December, he had that crazy hot streak against the Heat in overtime. So
yeah,
look, it happens. I don't like it, but I get why they might have given him the ball in that situation. Matty Fresh here, just back to that kind of the playoff talk we're having. Shout out to Matty. He's in the Pistons Jack group chat with Prince and I as well. We're still 4.5 games ahead of ATL, the Hawks. So I just want everyone to understand I know the Hawks have won 4 in a row. I know we just dropped a very bad game to the Wizards, but there is only like 16 games left. So that's still a very big margin to make up in 3 weeks of play or 16 games. If the Pistons completely fall off, of course they can catch up. But the Hawks are going to have to keep winning, and the Pistons are going to have to lose a few here for them to continue creeping up on that. But I can see why people are a little bit worried. But in terms of anything else out of tonight, I guess maybe Prince, are you worried about the Pistons now off the back of that falling out of the 6th seed and into the play-in?
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. I mean, especially when it comes to Atlanta. Like, I think when it comes to Atlanta, I've seen Atlanta, and they can really creep up on the Pistons. But I think if the Pistons can get the right run at the right time, Atlanta they have no like chance at even coming for the Pistons. So I think when it comes to Atlanta getting to the play-in, the rest of their schedule is really not that good. There are hard teams. And especially for the Pistons, I don't think it's a fall off, especially after this game. But I think with the Pistons, I think we can score that 5 seed by the end of the season. I don't want the 5 seed because I definitely want to take like, Knicks, then what's the name, then Boston, then Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I believe we can get and will get the 5 seed by the end of the season, especially with the rest of the games that we have going on. Yeah, it's a hard schedule, but I feel like we can win most of these games, especially because of the games that we've already won against them this season. So, like people like Milwaukee, like I feel like all those Milwaukee games were close games. So I feel like we can definitely beat Milwaukee, and even to see them in the playoffs, if we do get the 5 seed, we can definitely win that round. But if anything, the only thing that's truly scaring me right now is seeing Cleveland. Like both ways, where we go, like we're going to have to see Cleveland, and that's probably going to be our only like blockade from having a deep playoff run.
No, look, I will be honest. If we get to the second round and we face the Cavs, then I'll be pretty happy. But in terms of like, if they do face the Cavs, that'll be a massive test for this team because the Cavs they've won 15 in a row. But
Right.
yeah, look, I'm with you. I don't see us falling out of the 6th seed. Like we've said, this loss sucks, but I think we move. I think they put up a really good fight against OKC, and I think they can get away with a win there just because it's at home as well. I know they do play well on the road too, but I back this team in. Like tonight, yeah, bad loss, but there's some more love in here for the jersey as well. Someone, where was it? Moses. Nice. Here you go. Moses says, nice jersey. I want one. I live in Fresno. So where did you get that again? Just for people in the
Well,
chat.
I would have to ask my dad because this is my dad's jersey that he gave to me. But
Yeah.
I think he might have got it maybe Fanatics or I just know that it's a Mitchell and Ness jersey. So I think he might have got it from Fanatics. He usually gets his jerseys from there. But I get my jerseys from Fanatics, Pistons 313 shop, the regular places. And
I love it.
yeah, I love this jersey. I decided that I wanted to wear it for the post game interview because I know like everybody sees like what I wear sometimes. And yeah.
No, it's fine, man.
yeah.
I thought I saw another question here, but the Thunder game.
hmm
What are your honest predictions for that one? I think Jalen Williams might still be out with some sort of hip injury, J-Dub.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, the Thunder without him still just beat the Celtics in Boston. So
Right.
it's going to be tough no matter what. But how are you feeling for that game following tonight's performance?
122, 101.
I think we're going to win that game. And then it's not even going to be close. I think we have somebody on our team that can match up with every person on their team. Like, especially with J Dub out, that's great for us because we have multiple different people at his position that is better than the backup. So I feel like Chet Holmgren and the Jalen Duren, like I feel like Jalen Duren will have to be more out there than Isaiah Stewart when it comes to Chet Holmgren. But also at the same time,
It could be a close game, but that is my prediction because
I feel like with our team and how they're doing, especially when it comes to teams like OKC with that kind of roster where everybody is either big or small, like we've won games and I feel like we can win that game too. But I definitely don't think that it's up for grabs. Like definitely OKC could win this by 40 points. I think that is possible, definitely possible. Because I feel like it's really up to what you think. And I'm very enthusiastic about this team and about this game. But yeah, I think OKC is gonna be a win. But all in all, it is is it in Oklahoma?
No, so this one's in Detroit, and then they also do play Oklahoma in Oklahoma again before the end of the season.
Right. Okay. So this one,
We don't really have a lot of home court advantage, but I think that we can win this game, and we just have to have a lot of like everybody, Malik Beasley, we have to have Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, like definitely trying to do what he can. Definitely want to see Paul Reed out there too. But yeah, definitely we just have to have the people playing their roles. Tobias Harris putting up the points that we need from him. And yeah, that's what I think about the game. Those are my predictions.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think because this Saturday's game's at home, you've just had a really bad loss. I think they're going to the Pistons. Our guys are going to come out no matter what. Really
bounce back.
fired up. Yeah, they'll bounce back no matter what with their effort and play. It's just going to be a matter of. I mean, the Thunder might be the best team in the NBA, so it's going to be a tough task, even with our boys playing at their absolute best. But I wanted just to, for those that might have missed it, we got a bit of an update on Jaden Ivey, I think this morning, and he seems to be progressing really well. And I don't know if he's coming back this season. They said they'll still reevaluate in 4 weeks, which I think is the end of the season. My gut feeling is he doesn't come back. But nonetheless, still good news. I want to ask you this, Prince.
Right.
If Jaden Ivey is healthy, would you bring? I think I know your answer to this, but I'll just ask you: would you bring him back and play him for the playoffs?
I feel like they are going to play him no matter what. But if anything,
there's probably going to be people with more usage than him, like Marcus Sasser or Dennis Schroeder. I haven't seen Marcus Sasser out there, and I feel like that's majority Dennis Schroeder being that backup point guard for Kate Cunningham. But when it comes to Jaden Ivey, I think they will play him because just for like having to play him, wanting him to see how he would do. So if anything, I definitely would want to see him if he does come back in the first round, at least one game so we can see how he plays. And if he doesn't play well, then we're probably just going to rest him until we can see if he can come back second round, if we get to the second round. But majority tells me no, because maybe, but I do want to see him for one game to see how he's like, if he can still bring that same energy from the beginning of the season to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm torn because if he does come back, I assume it will be because he's like fully recovered. There's no issues whatsoever. Part of me is like, well, if that's the case, if he is fully healthy, then you can play him like 15 minutes, see how he goes, or maybe like just see how he goes game to game. Like you said, get some playoff experience. He is, in my opinion, he's still the second best offensive player on this team and probably the second best player on the team when fully healthy. So, but then part of me is like, well, just because he's so young and it wasn't the worst type of broken leg, it's probably the best type you can have from what I read and heard. But I'm still like, it's still a broken leg. So maybe you just fully rest him and make sure his off season is fully 100% ready to go. And you just have him back for the preseason and opening night next year. But it'll be interesting. I guess either way, it's just good to know that everything's progressing well. And I guess we'll find out but at the end of the regular season what they're going to do with him. But
yeah, I think with Ivy, I just had something on my head.
I think with Ivy, I want to see him. Of course, I want to see him, but I don't think, and it's just a prediction, I don't think that he's going to be fully healthy when it comes to even after postseason. Like, I think he still needs to have that physical therapy, and I'm glad that he's in practice running. I'm glad that he's walking, he's running, he's doing everything that he can do when it comes to playing in the game. But I definitely want him to be prepared, get more coaches for him, like make sure he's still getting that physical therapy that he needs. Making sure he has that time out with his family because he just had his third child. I believe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
like happy for him, but he's so young.
Right.
I thought he only had two, but yeah, and seeing him like last year when I was in Memphis for the summer, I went on live with Jaden Ivey on Instagram Live, and
oh really?
Yeah, we were majority talking about like the love of Jesus Christ, but
Yeah.
more so we were talking about like how he was gonna do next season and how he was gonna like be like more of an offensive role, trying to be there for Cade when it comes to being that second point guard, that second option, you know. And it was great getting to talk to him. He's a really great and peaceful kind of guy, humanly type
Yeah.
of guy. Hmm.
Well, he definitely like everything it sounds like he said to you then on the court, he's definitely done that. Like, and before his broken leg was like having the best like 5 game stretch of his career. Like he was
Hmm.
shooting the ball like crazy, like scoring. So I mean, back to like your point, like if I feel like if he is healthy, like even if he can play like 10 to 15 minutes and he could have a game where he hits like 5 threes or scores 10 points in 10 minutes, like that would be huge. Like I think maybe some fans have kind of forgotten just because the team's record, it has been much better with Jaden whilst Jaden's been out. I don't think that's
Hmm.
just because Jaden's out. I think it's because the team's just matured, they've gotten closer, they've figured some things out that
Hmm.
just take time to figure out. But I think some fans might have forgotten how crucial he is to this team's future. But yeah. Is there any other thoughts you have, Prince, on the game, looking ahead,
Hmm.
playoff? Are you going to
I
be at a
think
playoff game if the Pistons
Oh yeah.
win it?
Okay. So me and my dad, we want to go and see a Pistons game.
But like for my birthday, and I never really get to see my birthday's April 26th, so I never really get to
Oh,
see
wow.
any Pistons games for my birthday because they're never in the playoffs. But my dad, he definitely said like playing is after the 15th, so hopefully on the 26th we can see a first rounder or second rounder. But yeah, and I also wanted to touch bases with us possibly getting Devin Booker. I think when it
Ooh.
comes to Devin Booker, who might be in the package, and Jaden Ivey, and how, like, I don't want to trade away Jaden Ivey for Devin Booker because I feel like Jaden Ivey has such a big and bright future for him. And I feel like the team chemistry right now might be at a 100. Like, I feel like everybody knows everybody when it comes to the team, and everybody just loves each other on the team. Everybody supporting each other together forever, forever, always. And it's just like, you know, when it comes to us having the biggest like odds to get Devin Booker, I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
It's tough because it's getting Devin Booker. If the Pistons actually had the best trade package to get him, and say
Hmm.
it would involve Jaden Ivey and a heap of picks, and I haven't looked at some of the other trades people have proposed, but
Hmm.
like if I feel like it's so tough because that trading for Devin Booker at this stage when you have a player like Cade, someone like
Hmm.
JD who's emerging, Asar, that's kind of like the type of player you do go all in on and trade, some of your young pieces for and your future picks, like bringing Booker back home to Michigan. I think he's from
Right.
Grand Rapids, I believe. I
Yeah, I
want to say.
believe so. I think he was from. I
So,
think he's from Kalamazoo, but I think he might be from
okay.
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, you would know better than me. I don't know the area that well, but he's from Michigan. Like Detroit would be
Yeah.
his home team. Like, so man, that would be very cool. You
Right.
know what? It's really tough because I really love Jaden Ivey.
Hmm.
Brandon's got us here. He's from Grand Rapids. So,
Right.
like, oh, dude, because the chemistry, like Matty Fresh says here, love our chemistry
Hmm.
right now. Best locker room in the league. And that was the thing when I was at games. I pretty much sat right down near the Pistons bench for most of those 4 games.
Hmm. I saw
The
you with the belt.
chemistry is yeah, the chemistry is legit though. Like it's not just
Hmm.
like it's cool we get to sell that stuff in the locker room, but like even when they're on the bench,
Hmm.
man, they're like laughing, the coaches are laughing, like they're all connected. And it's like shit.
Right.
I know is a huge part of that. Like he really is one of the key pieces in that. So it's tough. Honestly, as tough as it is to say, I probably would move Ivy for Booker. Like
Right.
I just because I think Booker's just an elite, like MVP caliber type player.
Right.
He's shown he can be that. He's been in the NBA Finals. I think he takes his team to another level. I don't think that
Hmm.
means that Jaden Ivey can't get to his ceiling. I just think it's like Booker is a known thing. You know what he is. Him and K
Right.
together would be pretty insane off the bat next season. Like they got Booker
Hmm.
this offseason. We're like we're talking NBA Finals. like genuinely Eastern Conference Final. That's the expectation. So it would absolutely break my heart because I love Jay, I love the chemistry, but I'm also like Devin Booker's extremely good.
Right.
He's competitive. He's a competitor. I feel like Booker fits. Like he's from the area. Like it's just like
And
shit.
then because that
tells you like he's gonna play for his team. He's gonna play like at his
absolutely, man.
level.
Right.
And we've seen Booker wear every hat from every major sports team in Detroit. Red Wings, Tigers, Lions.
I bet he probably wore something for today.
Yeah. So like I would hate to see J.R. go because I really love what he's brought to this team. I think, like you said, he's a special person. His intentions are amazing, but man, Booker's like, come on.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
I would definitely take Jaden Ivey, maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. and some picks for Booker. I would definitely do. I'd do that tomorrow. But I do like Jaden Ivey, such a great player, and he has such a bright future. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. But
it's tough. Yeah. The fact that this conversation is tough, I think it's a credit to Ivy and just like how good this team's looking. But I just think it's Devin Booker. Like when he's at his best, man, he's special. And he's from Detroit. Like it's just like,
and
man,
that just adds on top of it.
He's from Michigan. It's just like, dude, like that would be crazy. Like the Pistons would be all over national TV. Him and Cade, like, it's kind of
be crazy. Yeah,
but it would be really tough. But yeah,
yeah. So yeah,
it's a great conversation.
It's a great conversation.
But yeah, those were all the things that I had on the game, and yeah, that was it was a sad loss, of course. Washington. You didn't really expect us to see us lose over Washington, especially from the game last night. And I think we'll definitely bounce back with OKC. It's definitely it could go both ways, but I don't think it's going to be a close game. It could definitely go either both ways. Yeah.
So just to get your prediction right, you think either way it's probably not a close game, and either the Pistons win by a decent margin or the Thunder get a big win. I like that prediction. I think you could be on the money. I think you could be on the money there. Like maybe the Pistons just come out and just absolutely blow the Thunder away because they're embarrassed. The Pistons are embarrassed about their loss. The Thunder just had a really huge win over the Celtics yesterday. Maybe I don't know if the Thunder are on a back-to-back, but I could see that. I think
we beat Boston by 20 points, and yeah, they didn't have Jaylen Brown, but I feel like if we can do that, if we can beat all these super big teams except Denver by like over 10-point margins, then I think we can definitely either beat OKC by a lot or lose by OKC by a lot.
I like it. I think I think that's a good prediction. You might have persuaded me. I just either way, I just want to see our guys come out, especially in the first quarter, first half, and just show that they're a little bit embarrassed about tonight's loss, but they're still a very, very good team. And put it on the court for us to all see. Because we believe it, but yeah, show us what you got against the best team in the NBA. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, thank you for joining. I know you've probably got school tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, I do have school tomorrow.
You probably need to get some sleep, bro.
I tell all my friends I was on Pistons Jack podcast.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. No, thank you for jumping on, man. Appreciate all your support. The swag game's crazy. So keep doing your thing, bro. I'm sure you'll be back up here after a win against the Thunder.
Hopefully.
Big hopefully.
All right, bro. We'll talk soon. Catch you.
All right. Catch you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a legend Prince is. That man, like I said last stream, like in our group chat, he's got that much Pistons merch. It's crazy. He is a diehard. And for those wondering, the chat I'm referring to is on Instagram. If you hear us talking about it on here, it's not an exclusive club. It's over on my Pistons Jack Instagram. You can subscribe to the channel. It'll cost $5 Australian per month, but we've got a group chat in there. You get first access to all these live streams. We're doing our first subscriber-only live stream next Friday before the Mavs game, where we're going to have all the people who subscribe up on here on stage to talk about the team. It's a bit of a podcast format, but it's something I want to do every 2 weeks with all the subscribers, so everyone can come up, connect with Pistons fans, get on stage and talk about our favorite team. And there'll be other stuff in there, giveaways. There's behind the scenes content from my trip to Detroit. So there's a heap of stuff in there and a lot more to come. So if you hear us talking about the group chat, you can join. Like I said, it does cost $5 Australian per month, which is around $3 US. That's just to help me keep the channel going, keep the content going. So obviously I don't expect you guys to join it at all because it is a paid subscription, but that's what we're talking about. But that I reckon John's fallen asleep again. And I don't blame him after a loss to the Wizards, because I know for John in Switzerland, the time zones do not work. So I think we're probably going to wrap it up here soon, guys. But I'm going to go through some comments. Appreciate all of you in here. After a loss like that, I normally don't expect many of you to show up, but appreciate you guys coming in here after a loss. And I hope this has helped you feel a little bit better after a pretty shocking loss. But Detroit Lions and Pistons fan, Melbourne Stars. So this person is from Melbourne because Melbourne Stars is a cricket team, a 2020 cricket team. Most of you probably don't know what I'm talking about there, but we have been robbed. Yeah. If you're talking about us as fans, I feel like we did get a little bit robbed that game. That was a bit of a letdown. Like I said, that last shot for Tim Hardaway Jr., not the one from the logo, like the one when we could have tied it up. It was a 3-point distance. Didn't like that. But I don't know. I'm not too down in the dumps after this loss. It's bad. It might cost them the 4 seed, but we shall see. We shall see. Rain. Don't see how you can trot THJ out there for 30 minutes per night and you've got Asar playing only 18 on a night like tonight where no one else can stop anyone. Yeah, the Asar one's strange. And I'm trying to think. I have a feeling he didn't play much in the 4th because I really noticed that the Wizards were absolutely packing the paint every time Cade tried to run a pick and roll with JD. They were almost selling out on all shooters in the corners just to stop that pick and roll. That's what I saw. So make JB's thinking was, let's get Cade out there with THJ, Beasley, Tobias, maybe more shooting, and let's try make the Wizards pay for packing the paint. Because when Asar's out there or Ron, they just don't pay attention. But I still think Asar needs more than 18 minutes. So you're definitely fair with that statement, Rain. But that's just my thoughts. I miss Ivy. I miss JR as well. Miss him as well. It's definitely the one negative of this season, I would say, is just the fact we're not getting to see him with this team since they've really picked up and become such a fun, exciting team. AM36, this loss felt like a punch to the face. Not sure why it feels so deflating. Look, it's deflating for sure. And anyone's upset, definitely feel you on that. I'm not trying to sit up here and tell you it's a loss we shouldn't worry about at all. I just think the trajectory of this team in the scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I hope it's a wake-up call. I hope it gives them a huge kick up the arse to come out against the Thunder and put on a show for us. But it's deflating. So I don't blame you feeling like that. Matty Fresh, got to tip our hats to the Wizards. They played a good game. They did. I spoke about it off the top. Probably don't want to hear me talk anymore about the Wizards, but I think that would be Wizards fans would say that's probably one of their best games of the season. Sean, shout out to Sean, my man. Hope you've been good. At least Kuz wasn't there because we were that team tonight. Very fair enough. AM36 once again. Also, Cade was the only plus player in the starting 5. Yeah, I kind of think JD got completely outplayed by Sar, especially in those first 3 quarters. And I think Tobias kind of struggled. I think Tobias has been playing much better recently than he did tonight. Got cooked a few times on defense. THJ struggled. And then Asar, I don't think, played enough minutes to have a truly big impact on the game. What else? Oh, we got a super chat. Matty Fresh, my guy. Happy 313 day, bro. Tough L, but we move on. Hey, bro, I appreciate you so much. Appreciate all your support. That donation helps this channel so much. So thank you so much to you, my brother. Hoping we can get you up here soon. I know you're working real hard at the moment. We've been DMing. So I appreciate you just even finding the time to tune in and listen. And then, of course, to donate is crazy. So thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you in Detroit. I can't wait to see you again when I'm back. So shout out to you, Maddie. You're a legend. What else have we got in here, guys? YouTube user with some great perspective. Tough loss, but these types of games happen. I agree. And as he backs up here, we can beat OKC and then forget this one. I think that's what's going to happen. Call me out if it doesn't. Happy to be called out, but I got a feeling this might result in our best win of the season, this loss. So let's see what happens. Got a lot of stuff in here about fans saying we can finish 11-4. Retro ZK, we can finish 11-4. I love it. There's a couple more comments in here about us finishing 11-4. Forgive me whilst I'm scrolling. I can't find them. I definitely did see some more. Oh, Zach, we can finish 11-4, losing 1 to the Bucks, 2 to the Thunder, 1 to the Cavs. So I think we do play the Cavs one more time, the Thunder twice, as Zach mentions. Then we play the Bucks twice as well. Last 2 games of the season, 1 at home, 1 on the road. I think they beat the Bucks in one of those. We're due for a win over the Bucks. Even if I don't want to play them in the playoffs, the regular season, I think we can get a win. JWoww, yep, they had more grit than us tonight. They did. They wanted it more. JB said that in his post-game press conference that he was upset with the team's transition defense. And to be honest, transition defense and perimeter defense is normally a pretty good telltale or indicator of your effort level. And yeah, I think the Wiz wanted that more. They might have been a little bit embarrassed. Those scuffles last game, I think just from the jump, they were more locked in than our boys. So, yeah, I think as long as our guys learn from this, yes, it's not the end of the world. But we'll see what happens. Shout out to my man Alan. I just want to shout you out, bro. I know you're expecting another baby girl very soon, so thank you for jumping on the stream and finding time. Best of luck. I know I think you have, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be your second daughter. So hopefully we're going to have some more Pistons fans coming from Alan's family. So shout out to you, Alan. Best of luck with all of that, my man. And hope to have you on the stream soon if you got any time. But obviously your family is a priority, man. So shout out to you. Appreciate your support. Some more stuff on the Devin Booker thing. Brandon S with some insight. I know everyone wants Booker, but I'd like a smaller move to get a guy who isn't maybe a star, but fits super well and lets us keep the young guys together a while longer. I'd kill for Jarris Walker. I don't mind this. Jarris Walker is like an interesting player for sure. The ideal version of him could fit perfectly into that 4-man spot. So I can see why you like him. I still think if Booker becomes available, and especially if he says he wants to come to Detroit, and you can get him with, as much as it pains me to say, Ivy, because they play the same position, you can get him with JI and Future First. I feel like maybe they might want Ron. That would be very tough. But I think Booker alongside Cade, like, you've got elite playmaking in Cade, good playmaking in Booker. You've got 2 guys who are 6'6", 2 guys who can shoot and score in the mid-range and 3. Booker, like, I just think he's a dog. He's from Detroit. He's probably the one star like that I'm just like, yeah, get him. I'm not saying you trade Osar, JD, and Ivy, but like, man, he'd be very, very special on this team with Cade. Like, just having those 2, you can figure out the rest, and you probably still have Osar ideally. Like, that's a pretty fun trio. I'm not gonna lie. You keep Beef Stew, like, ideally JD. See what happens, but like, now I definitely get your perspective. Like, I can't think of another star off the top of my head. Like, it's a comparison to Booker that could become available. But just with Booker himself, I would do that package we discussed. But because I just think Booker's truly like an MVP candidate at his best on a team that's not like the Suns this season that all hate each other. But yeah, well, I appreciate your perspective, and I think a player of Jarris Walker's mold with this current young core is what they're missing. So I can definitely see your thoughts there, Brandon. So thank you for the perspective. Moses want revenge. Do the Pistons play him again? I don't think they do. I think they only played the Wizards 3 times. Obviously, they played them twice the past few days, and then they played them on the road earlier in the season. One of Jaden Ivey's best games. What else have we got here? Zach, once again, I know our center rotation is Duran Stew, but I'd love Paul Reed to get some run. B-ball Paul's fun, man. Like, if he's ever on the court, you know he's going to get a bucket or two and get a few steals, create a few transition looks for the team. So, no, I see why fans want him. I think while Duran and Stew are playing the way I get why he's not in the rotation. But, yeah, everyone's got love for B-ball Paul, so I definitely feel you there, Zach. Last 2 comments here before we wrap this one up, guys. Marcus Smart just falling over the court from Trick Shot Bros. Yeah. Oh, man, Marcus Smart. I completely forgot he was on the Wizards. I didn't even know. I thought he was still on the Grizzlies until he popped up the other night. So he hit a couple of big threes for them, I'm not going to lie. Or at least one, I remember. So what did he finish with? 15, 3 threes. So 7 assists. He actually had a really good game. So, yeah, he's one of those guys that flies around. Probably flops a little bit, but he's a gritty player, even if he annoys me. Brandon, last comment of the day to wrap us up here. You could get Draymond Green so we can set the all-time record for decks. Yeah, how good was that? So I saw Anthony from Pistons Talk tweeted out. So JB leads the league and leads the coaches with 12 techs. That's the most in the NBA amongst coaches. I think Stu would have to be leading the league or very close to it with 12 as a player. So I think Cade's got at least 6 to 8. So we've got some feistiness to our squad, and I absolutely love it. As long as they're not getting techs and to the point where we're missing games and suspensions, that's too far. But you know, if you want to play with an edge, you want to like get under the skin of other teams. That techs is just part of the game to get to that point. So I love it though, Brandon. And there was one final comment here from Sean. Tech hit as many threes as Cade and Beasley combined. And I just want to shout out Tech because, you know, he's probably had a pretty underwhelming season, I would say, for a number of reasons, which I'm not going to go into now because I've spoken about them heaps. But I think he played really well. Big 4-point play, a couple of key rebounds, finishes with 9 points. So I only played the 10 minutes. Maybe this is the night where you could have played him a little bit more, but shout out to Tech because he had a really solid game. But that's going to do it for today, guys. We're going to be back and we're going to be vibing, I feel like, after this Thunder game. I think I like my man Prince's prediction. I think what I'm going to say, I think it's going to be a close game no matter what. I think the Pistons are going to come out and put together a really good game. I think they might win a close one. Or maybe the Thunder just sneak it out because they're the best team in the NBA. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think we're going to be feeling good after the game no matter what, win or loss. Even if it's a gut-wrenching loss, I think it's going to be a great measuring stick to see where this team truly is at. Because I think sometimes they do play down to their competition, and that's why they can have games like they did against the Wizards tonight. But we'll see where they're at after this game against OKC. I'm really excited for it. So can't wait to chat through it with all of you after the game. So we'll be back then. But until Saturday, as always, go Pistons.